Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. It is time to take on the tower. I have a stealth scope. Lavender Town music is peak, guys. Just the best. I forgot to click on a button. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. All right. If you remember last time, we fought Gary and his dead Raticate, JK. This person told us we needed a stealth scope. So we went to go get a stealth scope, which I should have in my bag. I hope it should be in my key items. Gosh, my items are all out of order and it bothers me a lot. Uh, I just want to try not to go in my bag that often. I find it the worst. And then all these people should battle me. So we're going to get Growlithe. Nice. Have I gotten any badges? Yeah, I have badges. I'm in Lavender Town, so I have 3 badges. Next gym leader is Erica. Very excited about fighting Erica, mostly because Growly gets to fight her. But yeah, this is my little Team Rocket team. We're hanging out, we're having a good time, and Growlithe needs to grow big and strong. So we're gonna see if he can actually take on the ghosts of Lavender Tower, and you know, become strong enough to fight Erica. I have no idea what level Erica is at. I forgot. It's been a very long time since I've played Gen 1. And admittedly, Fire Red Leaf Green is slightly more user friendly than original Gen 1. Original Gen 1 had a lot of weird stuff happening in it that would really, really confuse people, I think. But yeah. Oh, an escape rope. We don't need one of those. We're fine. We're fine. We're just here for ghosts. And to battle ghosts. Fight me. I am not a malevolent spirit. What is your name? Patricia? Oh, that's funny. It's like the meme where they yell at Patricia. I apologize to that, Patricia. That must have been traumatic. But, like, it was really funny. I used a bite. No. Bite's a dark type move. That counts. That counts. That's super effective. I forgot that bite was a dark type move for a second, and I was legitimately concerned that like I had used a physical move on a ghost, which if you know about Lavender Town, you know that that doesn't really work out. Can you guys hear the Lavender Town music? If you want to, I guess. I love the Lavender Town music. It's my favorite. I always keep my game setting volume really low though, mostly because I'm already hard of hearing, and having too many competing noises is not good for my brain. It's just confusion. I get so distracted so easily, and then I just become, I don't know, like a void. Like a void, basically. Thanks. Okay, good. I'm always concerned about my volumes. I need to, like, actually go through and, like, play with my sound settings. You were possessed? That's your excuse? Concern. Wait to get this. This is usually where I attempt to actually catch a Ghastly, because I really like Gengar just as a Pokemon. Oh, they're babies. Do I still kill them if they're babies? For the experience points? Yes, but I'm going to run out of moves. Can't use takedown on the ghosties. It does no damage. Normal type moves into ghosts does not work. I think it does work if you have an item or an ability beforehand, but I'd be cursed with you. Now that is something we could be into. Laurel. Interesting name, Laurel. You used to have a Gengar? No! Well, Gengar will haunt Mexico forever. Just, Mexico will be haunted. I am also low-key haunted. I keep having this thing. So I have like lights on the underside of my desk, and I usually leave them off in the morning and I turn them on at night, when it gets too dark in the room, but I don't want overhead lights on. And so right now the lights are off, right? I always turn them off before bed, and then I don't turn them on until like nighttime the next day. And sometimes when I'm just chilling here, doing absolutely nothing, don't even know where the remote is from my desk, the lights turn on, and I think there's a ghost. But here's the thing: is I used to have a ghost that I would say at least haunted me, and this ghost was in my bedroom. And what would happen is I had a TV in my bedroom, and my ghosty friend would turn on the TV. And this never bothered me. And I knew it was the ghost because my TV, while it did have a remote, the remote did not work. The batteries in it were long dead. I don't think it had batteries in it. I think I took out the batteries in it specifically for reasons. But I would, I had the TV in my room. I was just chilling, and the TV would turn on. And this would happen to me for years, like ever since I was in like middle school. My TVs would just turn on, and sometimes they would turn on like in the morning at like 6 a.m. And that is like a little annoying, but also like, you got to wake up in the morning. That's fine. It's fine. Oh, hi, Jody. Thank you for the money and the experience points. It's just the experience points, really. I'm here for experience points. Yeah, the ghost like legit just wanted to watch That's So Raven. And you know what? Sometimes I would wake up and a good show would be on, and I would just be like, you know what? You're right. Great show. We'll just watch it. And we had a great time. So yeah, so I had that ghost that was in my room, and I thought it was like just maybe that room. And then I switched rooms in the house after like my brother and my sister left. They went to college and it was still there. So I was like, hey, I get a bigger room now. Get my brother and my sister's room. And so I went to a different room. And when I was in my brother's room, because I got my brother's room first, I didn't take the TV with me because I was like, I'm mostly gaming on my computer. I don't need a TV. It's fine. And I, was chilling, and then like, no ghosties. And then I moved to my sister's room, and Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming out, and I wanted to play. So I had to get my PlayStation and Kingdom Hearts 3 and set up everything in the room. And my brother actually had just gotten a new TV. So I got my brother's old TV. So it was like giant, massive TV in my room. And then the ghosty would turn on that TV. Now the problem with that TV is it was only hooked up to my PlayStation and my computer. So unless those were on, you couldn't really see a screen, but you could still like, see a TV turn on. There's still a little bit of light that comes from it. Gotta be nice to me, Ghastly. Growlithe is already at less than half HP. Come on. Yeah, and so the ghosty would turn on that TV too. And I was always like, all right, sure, we deal. And I thought, because I just moved somewhere else, that I would have less ghosty encounters. But as it turns out, now my desk lights turn on all the time. And the other day, I think I was so focused on, I think it might have been while I was playing Pokemon. I think it might have been like during the stream on Monday. The desk lights turned on, and I didn't even realize it. I was just like, okay, the lights are on, whatever. And, didn't realize it had happened, but like, I know I turn off the lights at nighttime before I go to bed. So I was a little concerned. Turn around, I want to talk to you. Thank you. Yeah, no, totally. A little bit spooky. But I had ignored the desk lights when they turned on Monday because I didn't realize it. I was too hyper focused on the lights. And then a few hours later, like while I was chilling, the lights started changing color. And here's the thing about my desk lights is the remote has a setting that is like, you can set them to like cycle through colors or whatever and like flash different colors, but they always go in a certain order. And when they were flashing colors, they were not flashing colors in order. And then because they were doing a bunch of different colors, I actually said like out loud, like I actually prefer the blue lights. And then the lights turned blue. They were still flashing, which I don't really enjoy. Which I told the ghost, and I thanked the ghost for turning on the lights and for making the colors do the thing because it's always good to be polite to ghosts. We're not here to be mean to ghosties. And and then I showed them where the button was, and then that was it. Um, yeah, yeah. It's a little spooky, but you know what? I feel like if the ghost isn't doing anything mean, it's fine. And I'm here all for you, Ghosty, if you can hear me now. You're welcome here. Everything is fine. As long as you continue just to do things the way you want to, it's fine. Ghost went to a raves. Yeah, maybe. My ghosty wants to party. Oh no, Grelly, you are not allowed to die. Mostly because you need experience points. I need you to go big and strong. The ghost should pay rent. Well, the ghost doesn't do anything that requires, payment because it's not like the ghost is taking up room in my house. So if the ghost was like, making it so a room wasn't usable, we would have to come to an arrangement. But the ghost is doing everything completely fine. And I am okay with that. Ghosty is having a good time. It's fine. Ghosty wants to go to raves. That's fine. Ghosty wants flashing lights here sometimes. Also fine. Why is Weepin' Bell out of moves? I thought I came in. Oh, he's using curse. I was like, hello? Excuse me? Thank you. It's okay. Growlithe gets the experience points, which is all we really care about. And now we have to go heal Growlithe. Yeah, but anyway, that's my ghost story of how I have a ghost that I think has just followed me just throughout my life, which I'm okay with. It's a very good ghost. All the ghost wants to do is watch TV and go to parties, and we're here for it. Honestly, support your ghosts in your life, unless they're mean to you. There are some ghosts that are mean, but my ghost is friendly, and I'm okay with that. I wish I knew my ghost's name, though, or like anything about them, because I don't know what pronouns to use for my ghost. What what do I call my ghost? Raven watching TV. No, it's true. My ghost is legit. I have a great ghost. They're having a great time. Oh, you forgot about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts streams will be returning as soon as I finish this run through of Pokemon, and that's because we finished Birth by Sleep, if you remember, and that means that we get to start with Kingdom Hearts 1, which is my favorite of all of the Kingdom Hearts games. Kingdom Hearts 1 is so like kitschy and gimmicky and silly. I'm so excited to play Kingdom Hearts 1, and we're going to do the whole thing on stream. And while I am probably going to try to 100% Kingdom Hearts on stream, Kingdom Hearts music slaps. I own the soundtrack. I went to the orchestra concert. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts Orchestra was touring. They did a world tour. A long time ago now. But they had a tour where they had an orchestra touring around, and I went the wrong way. No, I can go this way. I went to the Kingdom Hearts Orchestra concert, and it was incredible. Like, absolutely phenomenal, no notes at all, and I definitely cried. I don't think there's any other possible response you could have to, your childhood music being played as a full live orchestra in front of you. It was absolutely incredible. Kingdom Hearts music is great also. The problem, quote unquote, with Kingdom Hearts music is that most of it is just Disney music. But Disney music is also really good, like high quality music. Disney usually does a very good job with their music. Usually does a very good job with their music. Purify. Oh, well, thank you for giving me the healing spot right after I left to go heal my Pokemon. I forgot this was here. It is very helpful, though. Thank you. Zombies! This person, zombies. They all look so unhinged. Oh, Karina. I like how they use the slightly more Mexican coded names here in the tower with witches. They're all brujas. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 1 will be happening on stream, although I probably won't 100% complete the game on stream. Although to get all of the trophies for Kingdom Hearts on Steam, you have to play through the game like 3 times because you have to beat it on beginner, normal, and proud mode. And I'm not going to do 3 playthroughs of Kingdom Hearts on stream. There's also a specific challenge that probably won't happen on stream either. That's to defeat the game without ever switching your weapon. And so you beat the game with a kingdom key. You equip no other items or anything in the game. You just use the kingdom key. And then there's another achievement for Steam. Growlithe, come on, man. Come on. Oh yeah, my Growlithe is the best. No confusion for my Growlithe. Ha 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 ha. There's another achievement that's to beat the entire game with no continues, which is also not stress that I want for the game while I'm playing it on stream. So we're not going to worry about continues. We're not going to worry about switching weapons. I might, if you guys want me to, for the stream. If you want me to, and if you ask me nicely, I will do Kingdom Hearts on stream on proud mode. And I'm totally willing to do that. Just because, why not? I don't think the difficulty ups that much, and if we're not worrying about continues, I could definitely do it on proud mode. I 100%ed Kingdom Hearts. I've probably done it like 5 times, honestly. I love Kingdom Hearts. I have a problem with Kingdom Hearts. But if you guys who are currently watching are not in the Discord, you can join my like Twitch specific Discord, which is linked somewhere below the stream in like the about section. And you can vote on the next thing that I stream. I don't think Kingdom Hearts is an option at the moment. Let me check. It's in announcements. It does not appear to be an option. Why? Oh, because this is my secondary game. You're voting on the secondary game that I play. So like I want to do morning streams where my morning streams are like a long game essentially, like a series of games that I'm playing for like a while. Like Pokemon's going to take a couple weeks. Kingdom Hearts is going to take probably a couple months. And so we want to do those like kind of long continuous streams at a specific time. And then we want to do, I was thinking like evening streams. If you guys wanted to come watch stream in the evening, then we could do something there. Because I know right now is really early. But Pokemon just feels like a morning game to me. Unless you want Kingdom Hearts at nighttime. In which case, just yell at me anywhere in chat, in Discord, on any social media where you can find me. And yeah, I think all the links are somewhere below. Have fun with that. But Kingdom Hearts, I'm looking forward to. I'm very excited. Kingdom Hearts is definitively like my favorite game, despite the fact that they get weird. And that's fine. We'll talk about it when we get there. Yeah, no, these guys look so unhinged. And they look like they're just ready to like slap a bitch, and I'm here for it. It's great. It does add flavor to the game. The Pokemon flavor in the game is honestly fantastic if you actually pay attention to it and like read everything that's happening. Other than the fact that Lavender Town exists, because Lavender Town is terrifying. Honestly, Lavender Town is terrifying. But it's nice, and if you think about it too much, we killed Gary's Raticate, and I am sorry. Yeah, it's terrible. Your favorite character from the Kingdom Hearts franchise is the little Ink Shadow ants. They're called Shadow Heartless. That is their official name. They're Shadow Heartless. Or I guess they're of the Heartless class, and they're called Shadow. And they're phenomenal. I love them. They are so cute. I think my next, like, because I sew plushies in my free time for fun, I think my next big plushie endeavor might be to try to make a Shadow Heartless, but it feels silly because they sell them as like merch and they're very cute and adorable and good. What's going on here? You're being haunted by ghosts. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Old Kingdom Hearts Flash animations. Ooh! Oh, send them to me, please. I'm here to see all Kingdom Hearts related content. I love Kingdom Hearts with the very, very depths of my soul. I I love Kingdom Hearts so much. And Flash animations are, if you're not familiar with Flash animations, they're like how people used to animate online back in the day, which is essentially where everything kind of looks like a GIF because we couldn't do smooth animation. But honestly, the the detail people were able to get out of these animations were incredible. And they got really high up before people started doing like, just legit animating. Did I fight this one? I think I did. If not, we'll fight them again on the way on the way out. It's fine. Um, yeah, yeah. Tell me more about if you stretch the audio sound for Lavender Town, it makes the shit. Excuse me? I need to see that. I'm so into that. That sounds fantastic. Uh, just for, just for, uh, uh, yes, yes. Everything sounds great. Ooh, an item. Rare candies. I love rare candies. I always save them until I'm at high levels, though, because they're worth more. We've had this discussion before, but if you ever play Pokemon, don't use your rare candies. Kingdom Hearts Chronicles. I've now, oof, as soon as the stream ends, I'm gonna binge them. I'm gonna binge them so hard. I'm excited. I used to love those little, like, video game related animation things that would happen. There was a song that me and my friends were obsessed with in middle school around Final Fantasy VII. It's called the Cloud Song. And if you've never heard it, you've never hung out with me in person because I sing the Cloud Song all the time. Be gone, intruders. Oh no! Oh, they changed it. It looks more like a haunter now. In the original game, it does not look like anything. It's a Marowak. I don't think we're actually allowed to catch this Marowak. I mean, I'm definitely not allowed to catch this Marowak on account of I am playing this game by a very specific set of rules right now. I'm going to throw a Pokeball at it, though, just to see. Where are my Pokeballs? Are they in... Do they have their own... Please tell me. Okay, I was like, good lord, my items are not in order. No, I'm not allowed to catch the Pokeball. I'm not allowed to catch the Pokeball? You're not allowed to catch Pokeballs. I'm not allowed to catch the Marowak. Okay. We will... Oh, no. The Marowak is stronger than expected. Oh, no! Yeah, I knew that was happening. I knew it was super effective. Yeah, that's just a type disadvantage. Ooh, Meowth has an item. We'll let Weeping Bell kill Marowak. Sorry, Marowak. We love you. We respect you. We're sorry that Team Rocket did things to you. We assume, but you unfortunately do have to die. You need plushies. Plushies are so cute. Yeah. Honestly, the biggest problem when I went to Japan was that I am a nerd, but I am also picky as everything like possible about everything. Just I am so picky. I went. The spirit was calmed. Good job, Marowak. We need to go heal Growlithe. I am so sad that Growlithe has fainted. I went to every single Pokemon Center in every single city we went to in Japan and never found a Mudkip plushie. And I was so sad. I love Mudkip so much. And there were absolutely no Mudkip plushies anywhere to be found. And it was just the saddest thing. And unfortunately, no Mudkip plushies in the entire, well, I guess not like the entire country because we only went to a few cities. We went to a lot of cities. Admittedly, we were We were very busy traveling when I was in Japan. And but I was on a quest, obviously I wanted a mudkip for my own sake because I love mudkip, but also was trying to get presents for my friends. And because I was so fixated on mudkip at my earlier stops, I didn't look for like my other favorite Pokemon. I did at like our later stops, but they didn't have those ones either, and I was very sad about it. But yeah, no mudkips. And also, basically no Kingdom Hearts merch anywhere. And like that makes a little bit more sense. Kingdom Hearts, I don't know if it was nearly as big in Japan as it was in America. I love Kingdom Hearts though. And yeah, look at this series of rocket fights. Fight me! Haha. But yeah, I couldn't find any Kingdom Hearts merch almost anywhere until I think we went to Kyoto, and I first found Kingdom Hearts merch in Kyoto, and promptly had to stop myself from spending hundreds of dollars on like a very nice Kingdom Hearts backpack. If it had more pockets, I would have bought it, but it didn't even have that many pockets. And let's be honest, I still want my stuff to be functional. So no Kingdom Hearts backpack, unfortunately for me. And I did buy a little Shadow Heartless towel. Little tiny towels are very, very big in Japan because they don't have paper towels in any of their restrooms. So most people have their own little towel that they use for themselves, and they just keep it, in their pocket, in a bag, on their person, and they use their own little towels. So if you go to Japan, take a little tiny towel or buy a little tiny towel while you're there. They're pretty cheap, but they're also really good to... I mean, everything in Japan is pretty cheap. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have never spent less money for so much stuff in my life. It was so strange. Okay, the Golbat outspeeds me, so we need to get someone else in here. Meowth has an item! I need to get that item from Meowth. I think I said that last time. Never picked up his item. No, I did. It was a rare candy. No, the rare candy was on the floor. What is wrong with my brain? But yeah, so if you go to Japan, buy yourself a little tiny towel. You'll thank me later. Unless you are a person who is blessed with long curly hair, like I am. Because if you have long curly hair and your hands are wet, you just dry them off in your hair, which is honestly great. It's one of the best life hacks. Was Growlithe dying? I'm so distracted right now by everything. Berry. Yeah, Meowth mostly gets berries. I think he had one nugget earlier. Sorry, she. My Meowth is a girl. I keep forgetting. But yeah, I couldn't find almost any Kingdom Hearts merch. I did buy a bunch of magnets, some keychains. They were celebrating the Kingdom Hearts anniversary while I was there. So I got some of the special anniversary stuff. Unfortunately, they didn't have any good like enamel pins. They just had buttons, and I don't really like buttons. I also honestly don't really like pins. I'm not a pin person. Pins and buttons give me the same feeling as stickers do. I don't know if you guys have sticker problems, but I have sticker problems, which is primarily that they're too permanent. Don't give me stickers. It's a bad idea. I won't do anything with them. I will feel the weight of their permanence on my soul, and I will not, I won't put them anywhere. I have stickers that I've had for like 20 years, and I still have them, and I don't know what to do with them. I legitimately don't know what to do with them. I feel like they're going to be gone forever once I put them somewhere. If you know me and you've ever seen like my water bottle, most people put stickers all over their water bottle, and I just like can't do it. I I don't know what this like weird mental block it is. Maybe it's the anxiety, maybe it's the autism, maybe it's the ADHD. I don't know. But like the sticker permanence issue, man, like I can't do it. I'm so bad. I'm so bad at putting stickers things. Pins are fun to unlock doors with, or try to. I heard bobby pins are slightly better because they're longer. A button might actually be better than a pin because they also have a longer like pin back on them usually. Um, a Cubone! Okay. It's so cute. This is the rare spawn in Lavender Tower, but it's so close to the stairs where we just ran into the Marowak. And like, okay, we can't kill the Cubone. I will feel bad if I kill the Cubone. I was going to train on it. It was right next to it, though. Oh, Pokemon. Do the creators of the Pokemon game know what they're doing when they put these things there? Some doors have a little hole that there's a button that opens the door. What? Excuse me? I've never seen this before. I have not seen this buttonhole unlock things before. What we did have, which I maybe shouldn't say out loud. No, it's fine. I'm an adult. No, I don't think any repercussions can come from saying this now. When I was in high school, and and now I feel like I shouldn't say the story. There's going to be a paper trail of the story if I say it out loud. Oh no. Um, um, I'm thinking through repercussions. Will it be fine? We just won't give details. When I was in high school, me and my friends found a room somewhere that we knew stored candy, essentially. And not actually, I don't even think it was candy. It was just like snacks. Not candy, just like snacks. And me, always wanting snacks and always being hungry, was like, hey, we can get snacks from this room, except for said room was locked. But we figured out that said lock could be tapped with a card, like a credit card or like an ID. So we would use our school IDs to hit this lock and get into this room to steal candy and other snacks. Again, I don't even think the snacks were candy. I think it was like Doritos. But I'm going to be honest, I love Doritos. I am always a slut for Doritos. Doritos are so good. Do you know Doritos actually were like invented at Disneyland? Very weird tangent. But yeah, Doritos were kind of low-key invented at Disneyland. And do I outspeed the Zubat? I was not paying attention. I think I do. Yeah. Thank you, Growly. We appreciate you and all of your efforts. Yeah. Doritos were 100% invented at Disneyland. From, if you've ever been to Flame Wheel. Hold on, sorry, give me a second. Growly got to learn Flame Wheel. Because you know Roar, which is a useless move. Get out of here. If you've ever been to Disneyland, in Frontierland, I guess on the border of Frontierland and Fantasyland, but definitively in Frontierland of Disneyland, there's a little like Mexican restaurant. And said Mexican restaurant used to be, like way back in the day, it used to be called something else. I don't remember what it was called. Not important. I keep forgetting to take that item from Meowth. And they were ordering their tortillas from a different distributor. And the restaurant was, yes. It's okay. No one knows Disneyland to the extent that I do, and I'm going to be honest, but that's not true. A lot of people know Disneyland way better than I do. But the things I know about Disneyland are kind of way too much. I'm going to be honest. Way too much. I know too much stuff about Disneyland. But anyway, there used to be a little restaurant there that was sponsored by the chip company that owns Doritos. And I want to say that's Frito-Lay. That sounds right. And so Disneyland would order in corn tortillas for their restaurant because they don't make them on site. And they ended up having a ton of extra tortillas at the end of the day. So eventually Disneyland talked to like their tortilla distributor and they were like, yo, we have all these extra tortillas at the end of the day. What do we do with them? We don't want to like just throw them out because it's a waste. And they were like, oh, you can fry them and like serve them as chips, because anyone who has had corn chips knows that it's just a fried tortilla. Mr. Fuji's house. Excuse me, Mr. Fuji. My Growlithe is dying. I'm concerned. And Meowth has an item. We're going to get the item from Meowth, and we're going to heal Growlithe. Anyhow, so they were told by their tortilla distributor that they should just fry the tortillas and sell them as snacks. And so Disney was like, okay, we can do that, but that's a little boring. We're going to put some flavoring on them. So and then they named them as well. And Disneyland essentially invented the first Doritos. And because they were being done by a like chip distribution place and with like, you know, the label of Frito-Lay, technically it belonged to Frito-Lay because they were the ones who like owned the restaurant. And so Frito-Lay eventually was like, yo, great idea. Can we manufacture those? And Disney at the time wasn't in the manufacturing business. And they were like, yeah, for sure. So they started making Doritos. And original Doritos, I think, were like kind of just plain corn tortilla chips. They started adding like a lot of flavors later, but that's the story of how it all happened. All right, we have options now, chat. We can rush south to Snorlax encounter and to where I think my Lickitung is. If memory serves, Lickitung is either... I don't have a Pokemon that knows fly. I do have a town map somewhere up here. Lickitung is either going to be on this route in the grass, I think, because that's where Chanseys are, so that makes sense, or in the Safari Zone, like above Fuchsia City, or I think Lickitung might be a trade evolution at the Watchtower down here. So I can go south to get Lickitung, or we go back and fight Erica, and then do Saffron City shenanigans. So do I try to find Lickitung first here? I'm not going to like commit to Fuchsia yet, but like, do we try to get Lickitung somewhere over here, or do we go fight Erica and Giovanni first? Is the question. So someone let me know. Lickitung, lick. Yeah. Nice. Also, in absolutely hilarious news, these watchtowers sometimes contain like Professor Oak's aids, and they're supposed to reward you for like filling out your Pokedex and stuff. And I forgot about the fisherman. Gotta fight the fisherman too. I have Growlithe out front. Oh no, panic. You can do it, Growlithe. I believe in you. Maybe you can't. It's Goldeen. They're smarter than you think. Yeah. If you ever need Disney advice, let me know. I know so much about Disneyland. Let's see how Growlithe does before we... Ooh, with a flinch proc. With a flinch proc, you could take it. Yes, yes. Thank you. We'll try again. I want to see how Growlithe can handle, like, a bubble. Obviously, can't take the boomerang. Very strong type. The flinch proc. My Growlithe is incredible. Yes. Yeah, honestly, that's the biggest thing about Disneyland. Disneyland is so expensive. Like, tickets to get in are expensive, just broadly speaking. Getting there is expensive. Parking is expensive. And the food is also expensive. And then merch, if you want merch as well, also expensive. You're hard-pressed to find things that are, like low-key worth the money at Disneyland. Like, admittedly, the good thing about Disneyland is that everything there is really high quality. So, like, even their food that's not as good, it's still good. So that's good to know. Whenever people go to Disneyland, I always recommend that they take more money than they think they need, but also only the amount of money that they're comfortable with never having again, because that's a lot of what Disneyland is, unfortunately. It's, yeah, you get like swamped up in the emotions of like being a child. If you're that kind of person. Some people are really like nihilistic about Disneyland and they're like, no, I don't want to be here. And they're anti Disneyland and they don't, you know, partake in the merch. And that's fine. It's fine. You don't have to like Disneyland. That's totally cool. But for those of you who are and you know you have like that attachment, be careful if you go to Disneyland because it's it's a bit of a mind suck. Like I whenever I take Star Wars fans to Disneyland, I'm like, you have to go to Galaxy's Edge. Obviously, it's a Star Wars place. It's great. And then always, they see the like nice lightsabers out, and they're like, I need one. And I'm like, yeah, they're like really expensive. Um, the build your own lightsaber experience, I want to say, is $200, which is a lot, a lot. So, is it worth it? Probably. But I'm going to be honest, I only would want Anakin's lightsaber anyway. Yeah, I feel like one day I do need to go back to Disneyland just to get a lightsaber because it's like the only thing at Disneyland I didn't get while I was there. But I'm also not a person easily susceptible to Disney merch, so it was fine. Part of me is like, I should save these trainer battles for after I get Lickitung. But also, Growlithe needs levels, you know? So does everyone. Also, for some reason, the group chat is popping off right now. No one's usually awake right now. Or, like, online, so that's surprising. Don't know. The droids. Yeah, you could also do build your own droids at Disneyland. That's also a lot of fun. There's so much good stuff. It's so well staged. Everything is incredible. The problem with going to Disneyland is often that a lot of rides get closed a lot. So if you're going there for a specific ride, I would recommend checking like construction schedules in advance to make sure your ride is going to be definitively open that day. But even so, sometimes they just close down day of because of whatever reasons. So yeah, be careful at Disneyland spending money. The food is almost all worth it. There are a few food items I would not recommend. Don't eat at Toontown. At Toontown is like, I guess if you still kind of have the palate of a child, eat at Toontown. But generally speaking, the food at Toontown, not great. Not great. Every time I've been to Toontown, it like smells good. And then you get close to the food or you see someone eating it and you're like, I don't need that. Like, it looks not great. I think the biggest draw at Toontown is pizza. But I'm going to be honest, if you want pizza, there's our Snorlax. Snorlax, we got to wake you up and use you for experience points. Yeah. So yeah, the biggest draw at Toontown is like a pizza. They have something called a fold-over pizza, which is just like a pizza folded in half, but not a calzone, like not sealed. It's very strange. I don't know why they have this item at Disneyland. Ooh, yeah. We're gonna see how much a flame wheel does, and then if not, I think we're gonna need to have Arbok come in here and finish you off. Yep. Well, if you're giving me free moves, Snorlax. Sugary things at Disneyland. Really, the only thing worth it is a churro and a Dole Whip. Dole Whips are great because they're fruit sugary. Yes, the burn Brock. And then he used rest. Good. Come on. That's only 3 turns of moves. He has the berry to wake him up too? Are you kidding me? Good Lord, Snorlax. Snorlax is prepped. Sugary foods, a churro. They're very sugary, and if you get one of the specialty churros, they are even more sugary. They have a lot of sugar on them, and they also come with like frosting and stuff that you could dip them in or jam or something. It's a lot of sugar. A standard churro, usually fine. I will say Disneyland's churros are okay. You can get better churros elsewhere. They also like they sell Disney churros, like the brand, at other places. You can buy them. I think they sell them at Smart and Final. So if you want Disney churros, go to Smart and Final. They probably sell them somewhere else. I want to say, I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but it's like, it's something, in my brain, it's something Mexican sounding. Of course, they're churros, obviously. Um, but as far as sweet treats go, Dole Whip has got to be probably the best. Um, because it's like citrusy and acidic. And when you have a citrusy, acidic, sweet food, seriously, Snorlax? This is why it's so hard to kill Snorlaxes. We're doing it for the experience points. Love churros. Lighter. My sister once, like I go to Disneyland with my sister. Usually, whenever we go to Disneyland, I always go with her. And the last time we were there, or not the last time we were there, like 2 times ago we were there. Yes, Arbok, that's how you do it. You crit. Um, one of the last times we were there, we got churros, and I take a picture of all the food always. I'm a food picture person, and people are always like, don't take pictures of your food. Enjoy the moment, whatever. Are there no leftovers here? Snorlax, baby girl. I want leftovers. So sad. So sad. It's okay. We'll be sad. Anyhow, so my sister and I got churros and I took a picture. And then my sister was like, I don't actually need a rod. There's nothing I can gain by fishing. Are you the Magikarp guy? Yeah, you're the Magikarp guy. You can catch a Magikarp that's like 6 feet long. It's crazy. Item? Oh, wait. Let's do this post Lickitung. I keep forgetting to avoid battles because I'm trying to get to the Lickitung. Anyway, so me and my sister at Disneyland, we get churros. I take a picture of them, like, together with, like, the Matterhorn in the background or something. And then she goes, cheers! And she taps her churro against mine, which promptly sends just a shower of cinnamon sugar on, like, all over my sleeve of my sweater. Your Magikarp knows tackle. Oh, it's okay. It's 1 HP. Yeah, so then I was covered in sugar for a while. I was like, gee, thanks. So now we fake cheers our churros together when we do have churros. Churros at Disneyland are, I want to say, like $6 now. When I first started going to Disneyland like a maniac, they were only like $5. But now they're like $6. Or they might be even like $7. Okay, this is potentially a Lickitung. Have I seen a Lickitung? Pokedex. I'm pretty sure Lickitung is Pokemon Dex number 108, I want to say. I'm just going to keep holding this down. I think that's Lickitung. I've not seen a Lickitung. I've seen a coughing. No Lickitung. All right. So before we go, because I think it might also be a trade thing and someone might trade me a Lickitung, we're going to go down to the last tower here and see if they have a Lickitung before I start patrolling grass to find a Lickitung that may or may not exist. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it snowed cinnamon sugar on my arm. Oh, also fun fact, if you go to Disneyland in Tokyo, Tokyo Disney. First fun fact, Tokyo Disney's not technically in Tokyo. It's outside of Tokyo. 2, there are 2 parks there. If you're going to Tokyo Disney, there's Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. Make sure you know which Disneyland you are going to. They have different rides and attractions and foods at each of them, so make sure you know where you're going. 3, about Tokyo Disney. Rides that are the same, have the same name as Disneyland rides or Disney California Adventure rides are the same. No, that's going to hurt, Poliwag, no! just for that, Weepin' Bell. Also, I need to go heal Growlithe now. Um, yeah, rides that are the same, they have the same name, are actually the same. I think we went on 2 rides that have the same name from their Disneyland counterparts, and they were exactly the same. We went on Space Mountain because Space Mountain is my favorite, and Space Mountain was like literally copy pasted from California to Japan. So, same ride. And we went on, I forgot which other ride we went on that was exactly the same, but we went on one other one that was also exactly the same. So, is there no tower over here? Shoot, do I not know this map as well as I thought I did? Me trying to avoid all these battles. I think I'm forced into a battle. We'll take this one. Yeah, so some of the rides are copy-pasted. Last thing, or I guess the point I was getting to, is if you go to Tokyo Disney and you want a normal churro, a cinnamon sugar churro, as it were, you cannot find one. They do not sell standard cinnamon sugar churros. You can get, or popcorn. They also don't sell just normal popcorn at regular Disneyland in the States, at least, that I've been to. I've only been to Disneyland. I've never been to Disney World. I need to heal my Growlithe. I'm so sad. I just remember that he's low in HP and I get sad about it. Yeah, if you ever go to Disneyland in the States, Disneyland, you only have like their standard churro and then their specialty churros, and they sell both at their carts. You can buy a regular churro or a specialty churro from any of the churro carts. And the specialty churros are weird. Like they have like s'mores churro and peanut butter churro, and also they also get, what is it called? I forgot. We went once and there was a churro that was topped with like sour goo and nerds. And it's weird because you would think like those sound fine on their own. Put it on batter, like on bread churro base, it's fine. And it would be fine if they didn't put the churro in the cinnamon sugar first. So you're committing to cinnamon sugar flavor and sour goo and nerds. And it was a lot. And yeah, it was, I would not recommend it. I'm only going, oh, there is no watchtower this way. Shoot. It was not a fun churro experience, I will say, as far as churro experiences go. I was, and that's in California. It is. A lot of the churros are kind of Frankenstein creations. But the churros in Disney Japan are all weird. All of them. None of them are normal flavored. There was like black garlic flavor, which honestly sounds great. Although I didn't know if they put cinnamon sugar first, so I was concerned. There was like seaweed flavor. Again, fine on its own. What if they put something on it first? I was so concerned. So all of this strange churro stuff happening. And it was concerning. Same thing with their popcorn. Popcorn flavors? No, not salt. I'll tell you that. Not butter. Their popcorn flavors were like roast beef, shrimp fried rice, chicken. Like, I was like, this is interesting. So my sister was like, I want popcorn, but she wanted like, movie theater butter popcorn, and they don't have that at Tokyo Disney. So we didn't get popcorn. We did eventually get like a chai flavored churro, which if you're going to get an interesting flavored churro, chai is probably the closest to cinnamon sugar you can get. So, yeah, be wary at Tokyo Disney about flavors of churro. All their other food, though, looked great, and of what I tasted, also good. So, other than that, the food slapped. Japanese food is amazing. 100% do eat if you can, because it was all great. Did I go to Super Nintendo World? Super Nintendo World in Japan? No. I don't know if there's one in America, but I definitively did not go to the one in Japan. I also didn't go to Universal Studios Japan because so we have like we went to Japan on like a tour, so we were with like a tour group, which honestly was great because I don't like planning. That's not true. I love planning, but like planning for a different country and not knowing like currency exchange or things about tickets and stuff like that just sounded so difficult to attempt to learn. My sister was like, we're just going to go on a tour. We'll follow them around. They'll give us free days and free times in all of our places, and everything will be good. And I was like, yeah, sure, as long as we go to. And I had like a list of things I wanted to do in Japan, and she was like, yeah. So it had all the things that we wanted. We went on the tour. We got a free day in Tokyo, which we spent. Oh, we had 2 free days in Tokyo. Our first free day in Tokyo, we went to Tokyo Disney and Tokyo Disney Sea. We did both parks. And our second free day in Tokyo, we actually got to meet up with my best friend who was in Tokyo at the same time on her honeymoon. We interrupted her honeymoon. And so we spent the day with her and her husband and went to just a bunch of places around Tokyo and hung out. And it was great. No one here has offered me a lickitung. I think they're in a building. And then, so unfortunately, the closest place we tried to get into Ghibli Park as well. Ghibli Park sells out in like 2 seconds. If you're ever going to go to Tokyo, to Japan, and you want to go to Ghibli Park, you need to plan it like at least a month in advance because ticket sales are extremely limited. They sell out super fast, and they only sell tickets for like the next month, essentially a month in advance. So like if you're going to go to Japan in, let's say, December, and you want to go to Ghibli Park in December, you need to be ready to buy that ticket in November. And you need to figure out how to buy that ticket before they go on sale in November. So we made an attempt. Unfortunately, I had a work engagement the day tickets went on sale. I'm going to check up there in here. So I couldn't buy our tickets. This guy. Do you sell me a lickitung? No. 30 species of Pokemon? No. I do not have 30 Pokemon. Let me lie to you. I know. No item finder for me. Do you have a lickitung? Nidorino? No. Alright. I don't know where lickitung is, guys. I thought they were in the tower. Now I don't know. We will search the grass a little bit and see if we can find the lickitung. Because I thought that was where lickitung would be. And if memory serves, there was a patch of grass. Yeah, right here. So with our early free days we spent in Tokyo, Japan, also, if you guys have never been, it's a lot of walking. It's an absurd amount of walking. You walk everywhere. They do have like buses and trains that cut down a lot of the walking, which is great. That you obviously do have to pay for. They are pretty cheap. It's like, I probably spent. Elijah says Bingus. Hello, Elijah. Hello, Bingus. If you're going to go to Japan, I would recommend you budget for probably about $5 to $10 for transportation a day. And that's just so that you have a buffer. Some people just do like tickets for each ride, but a train ride is about $1 essentially. So if you only take a train twice a day to get somewhere and then to get back at the end of the day, it's only like $2 a day. But chances are you're going to do like multiple train rides. So you're going to need to budget for your multiple train rides and, be prepared for that. Did I go to any rave or any party scenes in Japan? I'm not a party person. I did not. The closest I got to like, a party in Japan were just like crowded markets at night. And they were very crowded. The nightlife in Japan is wild and crazy, but I don't drink. and a lot of Japanese party culture is drinking. Um, and my sister also doesn't really drink. So we were, we were going to a lot of places during the day. We went to so many like temples and museums, and we visited like national forests and other things. And we were doing so much, and we were there for 2 weeks. Um, by the time we got to where Nintendo World was, Universal in Japan, which I want to say they're both by Osaka, that was like our last stop on the trip. We were in Osaka for 2 days, and we were so exhausted. We were dead. We were dead. I had like 2 blisters on my feet. I, it was, it was so difficult to get out and do anything in Osaka just because we were so tired. I think we made one trip out just like to buy souvenirs. So we went to where we knew the like busy street is in Osaka to go just walk the street, buy souvenirs, and then head home because it was exhausting. And we had a bunch of people on our tour who were like, we're going to Universal Studios Japan on the last day of the trip. And me and my sister, we thought about it. We looked at tickets and we were like, should we? And while we were thinking about it, we realized that we were already so tired. No, no, it was just not in the cards. That being said, 100% I will go back to Japan. Probably to do Disney again, and also probably just to do Universal again. I've done now a lot of like the temples and castles and cultural, stuff in Japan, and learning the culture was super fun. Their food was amazing. I bought an ice cream cone for 50 yen at an IKEA. 50 yen, by the way, about 30 cents. So, cheapest ice cream cone I've ever had in my life. It was great. Beautiful. Fantastic. Would recommend. Sammer says hi. Hello to Sammer. You don't drink either, but sake is tasty. I liked, what did they have instead of sake? Because I tried a few drinks. The people in our tour group were very, very nice and friendly. And one of them had sake, and like they give you the container in like a little cup. And we had also a bunch of like cups on the table. So he let us pour like a little tiny sip of sake to drink. And I did not enjoy it. I did enjoy slightly better, what was it? Plum wine? Although not straight. Plum wine straight was way too rough on me. So what I did was plum wine soda, where they mix plum wine with like, slightly sugar water, sparkly sugar water. And that was enjoyable, although I did sip at it and it did take a long, long time for me to finish because the taste was a little strong for me. Honestly, I'm weak. I couldn't do it. I just alcohol and me do not get along. Just in flavor. I've never actually been drunk before, so I don't know if I can handle liquor at all. It's just not something I know about myself. Did I visit Sanrio Land? No. Also on my list of places to go to when we go back to Japan. They have... Oh no, Growlithe is dying. I forgot. Go heal Growlithe. I don't think this grass has a Lickitung. There's another patch of grass. I will check for a Lickitung. But I'm starting to think this one's not it. Although, if Gloom is the rare encounter, then yeah. Someone tell me where to get a Lickitung. I'm so sad. Yeah, Sanrio Land's on our places to go. Ghibli Land, Ghibli Park are 2 different places, actually. If you do not know, there's Ghibli Land and Ghibli Park. And they're different and have different attractions. We did not go to either. I would love to go to any of them, honestly. Sounds great. I would also like to go back to do Disney Japan again, like more, because we did both parks in one day. We didn't get to do all of any of the parks. We kind of just hit our big things and didn't finish, essentially, either of the parks. So I would like to go back and dedicate like a day to each park for Tokyo Disney and Tokyo Disney Sea. Universal Studios, Nintendo, Sanrio Land. They're opening up a bunch of other places in Japan I would like to go to. I also want to go travel to some of the like, because we only hit the big cities. I would love to go to some of the smaller cities in Japan too, because those were also really cute and fun. And all of them have amazing food. Just the food in Japan is so good. I had a hamburger in Japan that ruined me. I am ruined. I forgot I was going to talk to that guy in Vermilion City. There was Professor Oak's aide there. Did you see him? I'll go back and talk to him. I saw him on my way in and then I forgot about him as I was leaving. I got distracted by talking about Japanese food. Japanese food is amazing. And the best thing about Japanese food is like you could go somewhere to eat that's like more expensive, you know? Around Route 2. Oh, you're the guy who's supposed to tell me to go get Flash. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, yeah, Japanese food is amazing. And you can go to like a restaurant and get really, really good food. And it'll be like probably comparable to prices in America. We got the best hamburger I've ever had in my entire life. I will fantasize about that burger until I die. In Kyoto, amazing. No, not in Kyoto. In Osaka. I think that grass might have lickitungs. How do we get to that grass? But like, yeah, best hamburger in my life I ever had was in Osaka, and I will fantasize about that hamburger until I die. And because this is where Chansey are, I believe. So we'll see. Yeah. Sorry, that hamburger. I keep getting distracted. I keep thinking about that hamburger. It was so good. The hamburger was absolutely amazing. And for me and my sister both, I want to say the hamburgers were, 2,500 yen, or possibly 3,000 yen. Hold on, wait. Am I doing one hamburger or am I doing two in my brain? I don't remember. But essentially the same price as it was in America, which is like expensive for Japan, but it also was like a Wagyu hamburger, and it was absolutely incredible and phenomenal. And we went there twice. That hamburger was so good. The next day in Osaka, we were so tired. And we were like, we don't want to do anything. What do we want to do for lunch? Because we still got to eat. We're still humans. We got to eat. And my sister was like, do you want a DoorDash hamburgers? And we thought about it for a long time. But DoorDash prices in Japan they were essentially slightly more expensive than we wanted to spend. And we had a little bit of money left on our Suica cards, which is what you use for like the subway. And we were like, let's just use up the money we have on these cards or else they will literally go to waste, and go buy, some souvenirs and burgers. So we went to buy souvenirs and burgers and used up the rest of our money essentially. And it was 100% worth it. That burger is amazing. I think about it all the time. It was amazing. Yes, I did try the souffle pancakes. The souffle pancakes, also great, also incredible, also the best things I've ever had in my life. Most of the food in Japan, absolutely incredible. We also went to conveyor belt sushi. If you're going to go to conveyor belt sushi, the place we went to is called Sushi Row, which is a chain, so you could find them everywhere in Japan. It's a chain. They're all over the place. What was I also going to say? Oh, we also asked our tour guide, because our tour guide lived in Osaka. So she told us that of conveyor belt sushi, Sushi Row is probably the best place to go, because it's not like a constantly rotating conveyor belt of sushi. They stopped doing that because there was a trend, apparently, with Japanese teenage delinquents, not delinquents, but like TikTokers, the usual. And what they would do is they would on the conveyor belts that are constantly rotating, they would go to these places, take off the fish, lick it, and then put it back on. So Sushi Row obviously saw this and they were like, no. So what they do instead is they have like a tablet that you order what sushi you want from it. So you're still getting everything you want. And they'll also tell you like the price of it per plate. And you order what sushi you want and they send it essentially with like, they have little outposts that go directly to your table and you just get whatever you want. The drinks also come on the conveyor belt, which is, I thought dangerous, but none of them spilled. So it was fine. All right, Meowth, it's your turn to get trained a little bit while we see if this grass contains lickitung. We're going until we find, I think, a Chansey, because I think a Chansey is the rare spawn here. But conveyor belt sushi at Sushi Row, A+. We first went to conveyor belt sushi with my best friend and her husband because it was like it was what we had for dinner that day in Tokyo. They were both like, they were at the end of their trip. They had already been in Japan for like a week and a half, and we had just gotten there. So we were like, what do you want to do that you haven't done yet? Because they had like one additional day in Tokyo. And they were like, had a few things, and I was like, Pokemon centers? And they were like, yes, Pokemon centers. And we were trying to think of places to go to eat, and my sister was like, conveyor belt sushi? And we were like, oh yeah, because none of us had conveyor belt sushi. Obviously, we had just gotten there, and they were at the end of their trip, so they were like, yeah, let's do conveyor belt sushi. So we got conveyor belt sushi, and we, like, as always, you know, when you're an adult, you're a little bit conscious of the prices, and you're like, how much is it going to cost? Where is it going to be? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so we were conscious and concerned, but the plates start at, I think, 150 yen, which is like, can I do the conversion in my head? It's like a dollar. It's like $1 for 2 sushi. And I was, this is fine. This is doable. It'll be okay. But then there are some plates that are like 500 yen, which is like $3 a plate, you know? And so we were a little concerned. And my sister was like, we all know we're adults. We all know we have money. My sister had like international credit cards. So she was like, just order what you want to eat. Don't think about the price. It'll be okay. Like, we'll figure it out later. Just order what you want to eat. We're just going to eat like it's a normal dinner and order all the foods we want. And then we'll figure it out later. So we eat essentially like normal people. Or like we normally would eat, I suppose. We eat like we normally would, and we have a very large stack of plates. I forgot Meowth is dying too. I need to go heal. Maybe we stop looking for lickitungs here. I think there's a guy who trades him. That'll be fine. Okay, Pidgey, you could just GTFO out of that battle too. That's fine. But we eat as we normally would, and there's 4 adults eating dinner. Although, mind you, my sister does not eat that much. So my sister doesn't eat that much. I eat a lot. And my best friend and her husband eat like a normal amount. So we go to our conveyor belt sushi. We have our sushi. It's delicious. And then afterwards, you like on the tablet, you say like, you're done now. And then it will print you out like, it'll give you a number. And then you take your receipt and you tag it somewhere else. And then you pay at like a little kiosk. It's great. Conveyor belt sushi, A+, would recommend. But we do all of our things. We go to pay. And for all of us, literally all of us, to eat conveyor belt sushi, 4 adults eating conveyor belt sushi, was in American dollars like $35. It was insane. I was like, good Lord. Yeah, 100% would recommend conveyor belt sushi. Sushi Row is fantastic. And the only conveyor belt sushi place I went to, but honestly, 100% would recommend Sushi Row. Our tour guide recommended Sushi Row as a conveyor belt sushi place. She said that sushi it's open. Okay, wait. Erica first and then Silthco to do this in order. He's sleeping. His life as a criminal makes him feel so alive. Sorry, I didn't read that sign. Oh, great ball. It's fine. Sorry, I just got bored of looking for Lickitung in that grass, so I've decided to come fight Erica instead. I think Growlithe can take her. I say Growlithe's not even at the top of my party. You can do it. Come on, Erica. Yes, conveyor belt sushi in Japan, A+, go to Sushi Row, it's amazing. Souffle pancakes in Japan, we went to a place called A Happy Pancake in Osaka, and... Okay, creeper. Also beautiful, delicious. The guy who usually talks to you here also isn't here if you usually talk to him before you fight the gyms. He's at the game corner. He is gambling. Fight me. Only real ladies. Well, too bad I'm a fake lady. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. Yeah. Japan is amazing, incredible. Most things are way cheaper than they are in America. I bought like 3 shirts in Japan that I love and I'm obsessed with. Admittedly, they are still slightly lower quality, although that's only because... So the thing about shirt quality is not usually that like the fabric is worse quality. It's honestly that your washing machines are way too strong. So if you put a shirt in both a washing machine and a dryer, it's really bad for the fabric. This is why you get like little tiny holes in your t-shirts. It's the machines are doing it. If you want your clothes to last longer, wash them by hand, and also like line dry them. Don't put them in a dryer. That being said, kind of hard to do all the time. But if you have nicer clothes and you want them to last longer, that is definitely what you should do. But anyhow, I bought like 4 shirts in Japan. 3 of them. I bought 5 shirts in Japan. I bought a lot of shirts in Japan. I bought clothes in Japan. It was great. And they're good, like high quality clothes. As long as, you don't submit them to American dryers, because American dryers are kind of evil. And I love them. They're so comfortable. They are, they're from Uniqlo, which is like becoming a bigger international conglomerate. But they are great shirts that are so breathable, which is, if you go to Japan in the summer, it is so hot. We were there in June and it was so hot just the whole time we were there, which is shocking because we were there at the beginning of June, which is supposed to be like rainy monsoon season, which is what we thought would happen. And instead, it was just hot. It was hot and humid. It did rain a couple times, but like overnight. It wasn't really cold that often. I don't think I ever wore a sweater at all while I was in Japan. But absolutely great. I will say, do pick up some words before you go to Japan in Japanese. It will help. Fight me. Yeah, Erica's gym has a lot of trainers in it. Best. Yeah, pick up a few words in Japanese before you go. Just it will help for like, basic purposes. Most Japanese people that we met, at least in like the cities, were very, very kind and friendly and helpful, and understood that like, I don't look Asian despite the fact that I am actually a little bit Chinese. But like they know you're a foreigner, but like if you're respectful to their culture, they will also be generally kind and polite to you as well. If you're in like a smaller town, I don't know what that vibe is like because we didn't go to any smaller towns. But we had a great time in Japan. Some of the phrases were pretty easy to pick up on. So my sister and I planned our trip to Japan a long time ago. So what happened was we had originally planned a trip to New Zealand with the same tour group. We were like, we're just going to go on a tour and we're going to go to New Zealand because they had a Lord of the Rings branch of their New Zealand tour. And we were like, yes, that'll be fun. And then COVID happened and our trip got canceled and we couldn't go to New Zealand and we were sad about it. But while we didn't know when traveling would be allowed again, my sister and I were thinking, because we opted not to get refunded for our trip and to instead put the money towards a future trip. So we were talking about it and we eventually decided that we can do New Zealand by ourselves because they speak English in New Zealand a lot. So we were like, we don't really need it to go to New Zealand. Like with a tour group. We could do New Zealand without a tour group. That was the ultimate decision there. So we were like, well, what's like a non-English speaking country that we both really want to go to and would be kind of better to go with on as a tour because we don't speak the language. And both of us immediately were like, Japan. So that's how we ended up going to Japan. And when we first decided Japan, I was like, cool, I'm going to start doing Japanese on Duolingo so I can know kind of like, a couple basic words. Like I wasn't expecting to be fluent. I wasn't expecting to be talking to anyone in complete sentences, but just so I could say words if I was ever looking for a thing, food or a bathroom or something. The subway, like the train, like I needed a few words. And I was like, I'll just do Duolingo. I'll pick up some words. It'll be fine. And I kind of knew a few words from like watching so much anime because I'm a nerd. But I was like, I would like to actually know the words better. I didn't expect to be able to read Japanese at all, but I wanted to know a few words. So I started doing Duolingo, and I think I did Duolingo in Japanese for probably, because we planned the trip when they were like, you can travel again. So we probably planned it in the year 2020 for like 2021. But then Japan had limited entry still. So it got canceled because they were trying to buff their local economy. And if there was like any international tour groups that weren't, local to Japan, then they weren't letting them in because it wasn't as good for the Japanese economy for that money to go elsewhere. So our tour got canceled again. And I was like, I've already done Duolingo for like a year. I don't need to keep doing it. It's fine. So I just stopped doing Duolingo again. And then eventually our tour company reached out to us and they were like, hey, your trip is being planned again. Like, when would you like to go, essentially? And we were like, my sister and I both kind of looked at each other and we were like, it's already gotten pushed back like twice. And we don't want it to happen again. Like, we don't want to be super, super amped for this trip and then have it get pushed back again. So what we did was we pushed it back far enough to 2024, 2 years out, so that we were like, 2 years is plenty of time. We're already pretending COVID doesn't exist. It still does. But, my sister and I are both, conscientious people and culturally respectful. We were like, we will wear masks all the time out in public and, be fine. So we planned it far enough out. And then when we planned it out, I was like, I should start doing Duolingo again because I've forgotten a lot of, I thought I had forgotten a lot of the Japanese that I had known. So I started doing Duolingo again, and I think I celebrated my new fresh year streak of Duolingo while we were in Japan. So I did all of that. And I knew enough Japanese that I actually like had a small exchange with like a Japanese woman In an onsen, which is kind of hilarious because Japanese culture about like nudity is very different than American culture about nudity. But essentially, onsens are sex separated, so you're only in there with people of the same biological sex, and yeah, you're just like fully naked. You just go chill in hot water fully naked, and it's good for you and relaxing if you like hot water. I don't like hot water that much. The onsen we ended up going to was attached to our hotel, and our tour guide was like, if you go right after dinner, it's going to be crowded because Japanese culture is like you have dinner and like, kind of party, like low key party at dinner, and then you go to onsen afterwards and like chill, which is normal. And so everyone, our tour guide was like, maybe we don't go to onsen after dinner because it's going to be weird to be like the only Americans in the onsen after dinner. So we were all like trying to plan when to go, and our tour guide was like, go. She recommended like late at night, like 10 p.m. She was like, go to onsen at like 10 p.m. It closes for like a couple hours at like midnight so that they can clean the onsen. So she was like, go late at night or go super early in the morning when they just opened. And the entire time we were in Japan, I was waking up at like 5 a.m. So I was like, I'll go in the morning, like when I wake up. And if I wake up at 5 a.m., I'll go at 5 a.m. And if I wake up at 7, I'll go at 7. Like, whatever, who cares? And even though a lot of people do onsen, like, at 7 in the morning. Morning onsen's normal, Thank you for the Giga Train. I'm going to teach it to my Victory Bell, and it's going to be great. Erica, I love you. Yeah, so we were... I woke up at 5 a.m. and I went to the onsen, and it was completely empty. And the onsen that we went to that was attached to our hotel was, how do we describe said onsen? There's like a changing room where they have lockers so you can put all your stuff in and keep your key. Fun fact, you do not put your hair in the onsen. Don't put your hair in the onsen. Tie your hair up, guys. Be nice and respectful to the culture. And you don't put anything dirty in the onsen or anything that could be dirty in the onsen. So no bracelets, no necklaces, nothing like that. Most onsens also don't allow tattoos. So if you go to an onsen in Japan, don't be tatted. And if you are tatted and you have small tattoos, cover them up. They sell bandages specifically for like onsens so that you can... There's 2 here. Is that a double battle? I forgot why there's 2 here. Thank you. Oh, it's just for this house. Nothing else over here? I don't have an item finder. I'm not allowed to have an item finder because I don't have 30 Pokemon. But anyhow, I went to the onsen super early in the morning, and the onsen had like... Thank you. Oh, that's how you get fly. I can't use it. I don't have any Pokemon that can learn fly. Nor will I get any Pokemon that can learn fly. This is why Team Rocket had a what do you call it? A hot air balloon the whole time. Oh, Sekka's back. Hi, Sekka. How you doing? I can't remember if this is a double battle or not, but if it is, I'm not prepared. I want... Oh, Meowth's an item. Pretty good. I've been telling chat about my trip to Japan. Let's see if it's a double battle. You sound like it's a double battle, Leah. Leah and Jed. So close. Sorry, I have a friend named Leah, but... Well, I suppose Leah and her wife wouldn't make it into Pokemon games because they don't have same-sex couples, which is fair. You have 2 fire-type Pokemon. This is going to be a hard battle for Growlithe. And I don't have any water-type Pokemon, and Victory Bell can't fight you guys. Okay. Anyhow. Oh, so back to onsen talk chat. So in the hotel that we were staying at, there was an onsen attached. And essentially, the first room that you get into is like a changing room. And so you go to a locker, You take off all your clothes, put your hair up. Don't put your hair in the water. If you have long, long hair, put your hair in a bun on top of your head. Make sure it won't get in the water. Clip it up, etc. Do what you gotta do. Use bite. Um, Once you finish dressing, you lock all your clothes into a locker. Keep the key somewhere where it won't get in the water. You also they give you like a little towel for the onsen. And you want to keep your towel on you because it is for modesty. So the towel is long, and you use the towel essentially if you are of the female persuasion and you do not want anyone to see any of your secondary sex characteristics, to cover both your chest and let it fall down to also cover your hips. And that is step one of onsen modesty. And then I put my key in my hair. I just straight up was like, it's kind of like a hair tie. It's on like, a little squiggly thing. So I put my key in my hair. I went out to the onsen, and the onsen has a place to rinse off first. You're supposed to bathe before you go into the onsen. So you go to like a little stall, you wash yourself down so that you are clean, and then you go sit in the onsen. And our hotel had like one big onsen room that was indoors, and it had a second set of the onsen, like it stretched out into outside. So I personally hate breathing in hot air, and I don't really like hot tubs anyway. So I went into I washed off, obviously, went into the inside onsen, and it could not be in there. It was too hot. So I did not do onsen then. And I went to onsen outside, and onsen outside was way better. And our hotel had also outside showers so that you could shower before and after onsen. But they also had a cold plunge. Unfortunately, I'm dumb and I couldn't find the cold one. I wanted to go into the cold one, but I couldn't find it. I think it was actually covered because I saw like some like private, baths off to the side, but one of them was completely covered, and I think that might have been the cold one, but I don't know. Hey chat, do we go down Cycling Road and see if Lickitung is in that watchtower, or do we go to Saffron City and fight Giovanni first? We're gonna fight this. And then he attacks. Snorlax first. Cycling Road. Excellent. All right, Cycling Road. I'm on a mission to get a Lickitung today, and I don't know where it is. I think someone trades it, and I think they're in one of these watchtowers, but I don't remember where. Yeah. Anyhow, onsen was great. I did onsen outside. Got to chill for a little bit, and then while I was there, the onsens, because they have all these little like places for you to like bathe essentially before onsen and after onsen, I was like, I need a gold duck. Shoot. Okay. That's what Psyduck evolves at like level 30-ish. I need to go find, where do I get a Psyduck? Okay. Now I'm on a mission. I need a gold duck to trade for Lickitung. Growl is asleep. Oh no. Okay, well. We're just gonna wake up, Growly. Growly, I need you. Growly. Growly. So happens when you just train your Pokemon the whole time, is that they just like to nap. Although, hey, Snorlax, we had a great thing going here. Although that woke up Growly, so that works out well. But yeah, onsen in Japan was beautiful and nice, and no phones allowed in the onsen, by the way. Do not take your phones into the onsen. Obviously. Why would you? Because I was in the outside portion of the onsen, and it wasn't like, all steamy and hard to see. I had a view of Mount Fuji during onsen time, and it was beautiful and wonderful. Also, in Japan, they call it Fuji-san. Respectful Fuji-san. So we saw Mount Fuji. We did not, unfortunately, get to climb Mount Fuji. And also, if you are planning on doing a hike of Mount Fuji, helping hand, no. If you are planning on going, I keep hitting the wrong button. No, no, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Thank you. If you are planning, I could have sworn Snorlax left behind leftovers. Okay, or not. I don't know. If you are planning on going to Mount Fuji and you want to climb Mount Fuji, you have to plan it in advance. Mount Fuji is actually not allowed to be like a protected, like UNESCO site, natural site, because there is so much trash on it. So they're trying to limit who goes onto Mount Fuji so that they can keep it clean. And as such, you need to, have essentially a reservation to go up Mount Fuji. Oh wait, cycling road, but I need a Psyduck. Where does one get a Psyduck? I wasn't prepared to catch non-rocket Pokemon. I also don't 100% know Psyduck's dex number off the top of my head. I know it's later than expected, but I don't think it's that late. I have never seen a Psyduck. The other Snorlax has leftovers. We'll go check. I fought that Snorlax earlier. Have I never seen a Psyduck? Slowpoke. Yeah, I've never seen a Psyduck. Well, okay. If I was a Psyduck, we'll do this while I go try to get to the other Snorlax. I fought the other Snorlax earlier, so I was like, leftovers, if they're not on the SSN, which they were not, I checked, then they should be. Psyducks are everywhere. I have not encountered a Psyduck, apparently. Snorlax is this way. Well, Snorlax is both ways. This is a square. It has so many locations. Admittedly, I don't have Surf yet. I won't get Surf until after Fuchsia. Because Safari Zone is where you get Surf. Yeah, no surfing. I have a rod, but like, if Psyduck is only in water, then I just have to proceed without Lickitung for the time being. I guess I could save Silphco and Giovanni until after I go to Fuchsia, because now that I have Pokeflute. Leftovers. Leftovers? Leftovers. Leftovers. Nothing. Super Rod has a ton of locations for Psyduck. Alright, well, I guess we could save Silphco for after I get Lickitung, which means that, yeah, we just proceed down to Fuchsia. I'm trying to save as many trainer battles as I can for these guys to level, because when I get the Lickitung, it's going to be a little bit weak. Same with Coughing. And I don't get Coughing until Cinnabar or Celadon, I guess, but still after Surf. This is route, I don't remember. The other one was route 11. Let's go back to that intersection. 11, this is route 12. Yeah, so I guess we'll just proceed with that Lickitung. I don't know if I should save trainer battles. Probably not. Route 12 has it? A Psyduck? In the grass or in the water? Because I guess I have a good rod now. I don't have a super rod, though. I have to get down to Fuchsia to get a super rod. If memory serves. Which I have not yet done. Yeah, they're getting so close in level, these trainer battles. Which means we gotta train. Oh, super rod with a 1% chance. You know what that means. I'm gonna have a hard time. All right, so we have to go down to Super Rod. We'll go down to our Super Rod, and then we'll come back and go on. You're gonna kill my Meowth. Rip. All right, that's fine. We got to level a little bit, apparently. I have been neglecting the leveling because I've been having a good time. I'm gonna be honest. It's just been a good time today, chat. It's been great. Also told most of you guys about the trip to Japan. Oh, I never finished the onsen story. The point of the onsen story was that after I left the onsen, because I got there and no one was there, it was just me. I left the onsen. I took a bath while I was there because they have shampoo and conditioner and stuff. So it was just like, might as well shower while I'm here. So once you're out of the onsen, they have like little places where you can shower. I got clean, and then you have to go back into the changing room to put your clothes back on before you leave. So went to the changing room, and there was like an older Japanese woman there who was also getting dressed, like you do. And so I got the poison point. The poison point! Now I have to go heal again. Gosh darn it. Camper Justin, come on. So we were both changing, and I assumed, this is a normal changing situation. You don't usually engage with strangers in locker rooms. But also, I'm enough of a foreigner in Japan that, I get it. It's not that weird to talk to someone that you are literally never going to see again. So I was just, chilling. And as I was changing and whatnot, this older Japanese woman turns to me and says in Japanese, "It's nice, isn't it?" And I knew enough Japanese from Duolingo to say, "Yes, it is," which was great. Actually, I think I only said yes, but she looked so happy that I knew how to say yes in Japanese. That I even replied. I think she was just ecstatic. And at that point, I think we both knew better to attempt to have a conversation in Japanese, because I again had 1 year of Duolingo under my belt, and that was it. But it was enough that I got the gist of what she said. I also knew enough numbers in Japanese that when my sister bought I forgot their actual name. They're like Momiji candies. They're Momiji somethings. No, it was a great rod, or the good rod in that building. I just got it. Unless he did give me a super rod and I wasn't paying attention. Let me check my inventory. Yeah, so I knew enough numbers. Numbers in Japan, highly recommend. No numbers before you visit a country that speaks a different language, folks. Also, general things. Learn how to say, thank you and excuse me. Just before you start visiting places. It's just polite to be polite. So people will appreciate it, and they will be happy that you are making an attempt at their language. And don't be mean to people who are making attempts at your language, because they're trying and you're not. So be nice. My Meowth! Grelly, go. Yeah, so be nice to people who are learning new languages. That is the point of that. Anyhow, we are now on a quest to get a Psyduck so that we can get a Lickitung, which means that I need to go get a Super Rod, which I think is in Fuchsia. I'm going to go check my items as soon as I finish fighting this guy and see if the person in this house just gave me a Super Rod. I did talk to him, and then he asked me to bring him a Magikarp. So I don't remember. I think it was Good Rod. I'm just assuming because it's the second fisherman I've encountered. Oh, Meowth is trying to... This is why I haven't been training Meowth. Is because every time I have to not evolve the Meowth. Hi, Meowth. Oh, items. Items. They're all out of order. It bothers me so much. I did get the old... Oh, it is a super rod! You're right! Oh my gosh. All right, it's time to fish. Hold on. Meowth is up first, and Meowth is done. I'm gonna go back to Arbok for some items. Oh, Meowth had an item. What do you have, Meowth? Rostberry. If you had an item that would like heal you, Meowth, I would have healed you. Although I guess if you had an item that healed you, you would have done it yourself. Yeah, Pokemon. All right, we're fishing until we get a Psyduck. Yeah, then we gotta turn it into a Golduck. We're also gonna kill everything because we need levels. Although these guys are at level 17, I think the wild Pokemon are in their 20s. Yeah. All right, new quest. Who we got? Yeah, if you guys want to know anything else about Japan, I guess, let me know. It was a wonderful trip. I am excited to go back whenever I happen to go back. Try local food, just broadly speaking, whenever you visit anywhere. It's delicious. And usually not as expensive as it is in America. American food, kind of expensive. Most places, I will say. Some of it is like regional. So no nibbles. Let's try up here. Because I was on Route 13 and not Route 12. We're going to do this little tiny patch of water. But yeah, travel places. Go places, try the local cuisine. I always make it a rule, even if I'm just traveling like within the states, that if I'm traveling anywhere, I try not to eat at like chain establishments or places that I've eaten at before. Because like trying new things is good and it's good for you, I guess. Also, ramen in Japan. Oh, what? Excuse me? Got a Gyarados encounter before I got a Psyduck encounter. What is this? What is this? Chat, I have questions. What's the percentage chance of getting a Gyarados on this route? Because I think it's or I guess with a super rod. That's I'm just here for a little Psyduck, man. Are Golduck smiles? Can I just like fish a Golduck? And just Horsey. Just Horsey and Gyarados, apparently. 15% for the Gyarados. Okay, okay. That makes me feel a little bit better about the Gyarados encounter. In this, I'm like, because I'm a crazy person who I'm like, the little tiny patch of land, you know, real close to of water, sorry, whoa, words. Of water real close to the land. Horsey 60%, yeah. I figured. Okay, I just like assumed Gyarados would be a rarer spawn, but apparently not. Yeah, you're probably right. It makes sense that it wouldn't be as common. And if Psyduck is everywhere but at like a lower percentage, then if Golduck is anywhere, it's still going to be at a low percentage. It's just going to be, you know, less areas statistically. So we'll see. How much experience points have these Gyarados given me? Although, I guess if I go, like, backwards, right? Seafoam Islands is the earliest to get a Golduck. No, I'm trying to think, what if I get, like, a baby or Psyduck? Are there higher percentage rates, like, if I go to, like, back to Cerulean City? Because raising the Psyduck, I don't think, is going to be that much of a problem. And I'm going to have to raise it anyway to turn it into a Golduck. So, I can go back. Psyducks are everywhere, but at what that's the problem. The percentage encounter is the problem, because at this point, like my personal problem is that I am starting to get hungry, and I I want to get a licked song. So I'm like, maybe I'll just our aim for the end of this stream before I leave out of hunger is that I catch the Psyduck. That's our goal. I yes, I know Professor Oak. I'm trying to run around and do things. Trying to travel the length of this route to get me a Psyduck. Instead, it's a lot of Gyarados, honestly. I think I'm even Gyarados for Horsey at the moment. Bite! Now I keep thinking about Japan. Japan was great. I want to go back and get one of those burgers again. Best burger. Admittedly, I think so. Like before we had gone to that place to get burgers, the point wasn't to get a burger in Japan, obviously. We were trying to eat like as authentic of Japanese food as we could most of the time. We had a lot of curry. Curry in Japan, beautiful. Chef's kiss, would do again. Amazing. Phenomenal. Very good curry in Japan, obviously. But it was a lot of, like, we were trying to try the local food when we could. And we ate a lot of local Japanese food, and it was very delicious. But the burger was not a want to eat burgers. It was a situation of 22, 23, and 6 have a 5% chance. Okay, let's go to Route 6 because I think I know where Route 6 is. And I would like a higher percent chance. Alright, apparently Seafoam Islands is where they want you to get a Psyduck. I don't get surf until app. So the problem is, it's not even a problem. It's the problem that I've invented for myself. My problem is that I want to train these Pokemon and I'm going to have to train them regardless. And I just know that training them on trainer battles is better. So I want to train them on trainer battles and not on wild Pokemon. So I'm trying to save trainer battles for having the Pokemon I need to train. And I already can't do that with coughing because I don't get coughing until post-surf. So I can save some trainer battles. I guess I could skip all of Saffron City right now. And just go to... yeah, I could skip all of Saffron City. All those trainer battles in Saffron City. Go down to Fuchsia. Fight Koga. Get Surf. And then come back for all the battles? That's an option. Route 6? This is Route 10. That means Route 6 is the other way. I should have looked at Route 9 when it said Route 9, but I didn't, so that's on me. I guess I do also have the Versus Seeker, so I could also find a place with Pokemon trainers and try to get them to battle me. Okay, so then if that's Route 5... Route 6 is below? Route 10 is also 1%. Yeah, I figured. I've got really bad luck. Just like always. I've always had bad luck, so I get it. It's me. I know. Route 6. The water is down here. We're going to go all the way over here, Psyduck. Because we'll get like a little baby Psyduck here. Like it'll be really weak. But then if we switch train it on trainers, he'll get stronger faster. So yeah, so I'm like, if I skip all of the like Silphco and Sabrina's gym and the Karate Dojo, and I'm trying to think if it's easier to skip cycling route encounters or, well, I can save either side, right? I've already done like half of the right side of the map going down to Fuchsia, but I could skip that bottom part and do Cycling Road instead for another Gyarados. Could this is I'm just gonna get a bunch of Gyarados. Um, so like I could skip Cycling Road, or I could skip the bottom part of, I think it's, I want to say Route 17, down to Fuchsia on the other side, or I can go there but avoid trainers as much as possible. And just, I would think I would rather do Cycling Road. I think I'd rather have the Cycling Road route open to go back and forth through. Because essentially I just need Surf, and I think I need Koga's badge to do Surf. And I can skip Sabrina until after. So if I just skip Sabrina and do Koga's, then I can have Surf, go to Celadon, get my Coughing, and then I'll have Coughing and Lickitung for Silph, Sabrina's gym, the Karate Dojo, whatever I managed to skip of the routes down to Fuchsia. And they'll get that trainer experience, which I think would be great. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll do Cycling Road down, because I think I can skip more trainers on Cycling Road. I'm just trying to save things for experience later. Although I'm trying to remember what Cycling Road looks like in this game, because it should be like the 2 paths, no? Or something like that. Something like that. But anyhow, we're here until we get a Psyduck, or until I get too hungry that I gotta go eat. Because we need Psyduck to get a Lickitung. Oh wait, I should do Cycling Road because I have to go down Cycling Road to trade the Lickitung. Because yeah, because it's Route 18, and that's on that's on the other side. All right, then yeah, we'll do Cycling Road down, and I'll try to do a Cycling Road path with less encounters, but we'll see. I'm trying to save as many trainer battles as possible for when I have most of my Pokemon, because that trainer experience. Unfortunately, I think one of Oak's assistants, aides, what do they call themselves? I think one of Oak's aides also gives you the XP share, and that would be nice to have. It would be nice, but I don't have Dex. I'm not allowed. I guess my brother and I never discussed the possibility of Dexing in this game, but as I am attempting to play the game like Team Rocket, it makes sense that I don't Dex, because Team Rocket don't try to catch many Pokemon. Anyhow. Oh. I was trying to run around. Yeah, I think XP share is 50 Pokemon caught. No, yeah, no. Team Rocket is actually, at least Jesse and James's branch of Team Rocket, is really actually good at, like, they would be the best people to have given the friendship evolutions to, which they didn't for reasons that I'm sure the Pokemon Company had. But, like, all of Team Rocket really befriends their Pokemon, because in games, in later games where like Crobat is available, they have Crobats, and like you can't have a Crobat if you're you know, mean. It's actually one of the things I really like about Pokemon games is that they have these friendship evolutions and they give them to like quote unquote the bad guys. And like, you know, if they have a friendship evolution, like they're good to their Pokemon. And yeah, and they do actually do work. Like at least, you know, a lot of a lot of the stuff they do is like actually really good. But you are correct. They do honest work to make serious money, except for, I guess, Giovanni, who is like trying to commit insurance fraud or something. That's his, I guess, primary source of money. Because I actually don't know what Giovanni's up to other than insurance fraud. The villains in the new series don't. They don't. And also they lack a lot of depth, which is like what I really like about like Pokemon games. The best villain they have in a Pokemon game is, I believe, in Gen 5. Who is it the original Gen 5 or is it Black White 2? It might be Black White 2. Original Gen 5 villain was like arguably not a villain. And I didn't really enjoy that game that much, I'm going to be honest. Black White is probably like my least favorite game. But in Gen 5, they have a member of this villainous organization who they tell you, like, he's the leader, he's mean and stuff like that. And you're like, yeah, you know, they say that about all of the villains in all of the Pokemon games, whatever. And then when you fight this guy at the end of the game, he has an under-leveled Hydreigon, which means that in the Pokemon lore, if you talk to all the people and stuff like that and learn the Pokemon lore, they say that you can force a Pokemon to evolve early. And they don't like it. Like, you can force an under-leveled evolution if you're, like, really mean to them. And this guy comes out with an under-leveled Hydreigon, and it hits you with a max-powered Frustration. Which, if you've been paying attention to any of the Pokemon games, Frustration is a move that does more damage based on how much your Pokemon hates you. And if you want Frustration to do damage when you're playing Pokemon, you have to like actively kind of be mean to your Pokemon, because your Pokemon are naturally going to like you because you let them battle and heal them and stuff like that. Speaking of which, Arbok, you need some HP. Love you, Arbok. Don't die. But, like, yeah, this guy comes at you with an underleveled Pokemon that knows a max-powered move based on how much it doesn't like its owner. And, like, beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely would do anything for them. Which is, like, just the Pokemon Company. Just give me more. Give me more of that, please. But, like, there is fully a Pokemon game that I played once when I was, like, admittedly, like, you know, I'm not a child. I'm not playing Pokemon like I would play it as a child anymore. Back when you're like, you know, children all kind of got that like natural like hero in them where they want to like do the good thing and be the best, and you know, and they're kids. You know, that's what kids do. And I don't have that in me anymore as an adult. And when I'm playing Pokemon games now, I answer the questions when they give you the option to answer questions honestly. So when they ask questions like, do you think Pokemon should be enslaved? I say no. I don't think Pokemon should be enslaved. I don't think catching Pokemon is enslaving them, but I don't think Pokemon should be enslaved. And there's a game where someone asks you a bunch of questions like that, and they're making good points. Should all Pokemon be free? Yes, Pokemon should be free. If they want to follow a trainer, they should be allowed to follow a trainer, but they should be free. Should they be enslaved? No. Like, you know, all of the questions they were asking, I was like agreeing. I was like, no, you're right. Yes, 100%. Yes, everything you're saying is true. And then this person, because, you know, for the sake of the game, they have to make you like fight this guy. They essentially like kick a dog. Not a dog, obviously, like a little HM slave from whatever generation they were in. But they do that. And then you're like, all right, now I gotta kill you because you hit a puppy. And obviously not a Pokemon, or a puppy, but a Pokemon. But yeah. That's how they get you to hate that big bad of that game. And I was like, dude, no. Like, not good writing. Like, the other things help, like, villains be good villains, but like there's a lot of things in Pokemon games that I'm just like, it's not a good villain. Like give me the silly villains for no reason. Like honestly, I don't know what Team Rocket's up to 100% of the time. Uh, but they're good villains because of that. Like they're good villains and the game is written well because of Giovanni as a character. Because he's never in his gym, so the gym is locked. And because you can't beat the game, you cannot do the Elite Four without fighting him. And in order to fight Giovanni, you have to do Game Corner and Silphco, which is just good game writing, and I love it so much, and it's done so well. So, more of this, please. Less of your villains that are just like, I want to be strong. I want world domination. Such small minor goals. Give them more concrete goals, something more solid that we can latch on to, because I want it. I want it. I want your complexity back, Pokemon. I want your attention to detail back. And I know you can do it because you've done it before. Um, or or I am also okay with the silly villains. And by the silly villains, I mean Team Skull. Team Skull is the best. I love how ridiculous they were the whole game. Every time. Oh, he is a flying type. I can just use Rock Slide on the Gyarados. Noted. I don't want to go back and heal again. Yeah, that's an item. Item. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, no, not good. You go first. We've got time to train a little bit. Yeah. We'll do Weeping Bell. Yeah. But like canonically, if you pay attention to the canon of Pokemon, which let's be real, most people don't. Most people see Pokemon as a little silly game, you battle, get stronger, etc., etc. If you get into the lore and into the canon, my two friends in chat will tell you that it is so much more complex than it needs to be, first of all, but also that they do it so well. Like the NPCs lack in dialogue, and you're like, this is weak. You don't need that because when you had the complex villains of the early games that I played when I was like 6 years old, it made sense. I got it. I understood it. It made sense. Like they were doing like what they felt was right, and I truly believed that, and I as a child thought they were truly evil and wanted to fight them. Even now fighting Team Rocket, I'm like, yes, no, we should take you down, even though like personally I am like cosplaying as a person who is trying to be a Team Rocket member, but that's besides the point. But like, I don't know. You get to like later Pokemon games and they just like lack that. Like I even like the Pokemon villains that like you don't get, but it's fine because like they make sense to themselves. I am of course talking about Archie and Maxie. Why? I don't get it. Why is that your goal? Why do you want the expansion of land? Why do you want the expansion of water? No sense. No sense. I don't get it. Both of you don't make sense to me. And I love Gen 3. Hoenn is my favorite of all of the Pokemon games. Absolutely adore Gen 3. And I they're silly. I think they fall into silly villain category for me. But yeah, silly villain category is a good category to be in, I will say. But like, I don't get you, but you make sense, and also like, we should stop you. I recognize that it would be bad to turn the whole world into a world without water or into a whole world of water. That movie actually exists. If you want to watch it, it's called Waterworld. It's very silly. But yeah, I don't get you. Gen 4 and their like space thing, like I don't know what's going on there. Cyrus, take it to reshape the universe. Reshaping the universe, kind of too big for a Pokemon game, I think. At least for like a child playing a Pokemon game. I get why you did it. It makes sense because of your legendaries, but like, Come on. Come on. We're kids playing the game. At least we're trying to play the game because we're kids on the inside. Kids forever. That's the goal. Honestly, that's like the biggest thing about adulthood. In case anyone is wondering what adulthood is like, it's realizing that you're just a child. You're still a child. You're still searching for everything you wanted as a child, but now you have adult money and you get to have fun with it. But yeah, then later Pokemon villains are so weak. Team Flare, hated Team Flare. I don't even remember Team Flare. I've forgotten everything about Team Flare that I used to know. I remember they were weird. Yeah, they're boring. They're so boring. I literally don't remember them. No lasting effect at all. Team Flare, I don't remember at all. And then in Scarlet Violet, who is at Team Star, who's just like a bunch of kids who they're just kids. That's it. They're just children. Plasma did have great music. Team Plasma had great music. And I will say I am playing Black White 2 for the first time because I've never played it because I didn't like Black White when I first played it. So I was like, why am I going to play a sequel to a game I don't like? I am now playing it. I picked it up. It's on my DS. Just, yeah. Yeah, Team Star's whole thing in Scarlet Violet is we don't want to wear uniforms, essentially. We look slightly different from the rest of the students at the school. It's also very weird to me in Scarlet Violet that the only trainers you battle are students the whole time. Like if you're out anywhere, you're only battling students. And they are all of like a different ages, but it's like students or gym leaders, and very, very occasionally, like there are no trainer classes in Scarlet Violet, which is very boring to me. And I think they did to save money on character design because you don't have to change their outfits if they're all wearing the same thing. But there's so few character designs in Pokemon anyway, based on trainer classes. So I don't know what that's about. God, come on, give me a Psyduck. I don't know. I keep telling myself that I'm going to stop playing Pokemon games. Like I'm too old and I'm going to stop, and then I don't. I legitimately, like when the Switch came out, I was like, I don't need another Nintendo console. I only play Pokemon games on Nintendo consoles anyway. Like I'm not going to play Smash or anything else. I don't need to buy it. I'm not going to get a Switch. Sword and Shield came out, and I was like, I'm old. I don't need to play Sword and Shield. It's fine. I'll be okay. I don't need this. And then they announced the Diamond Pearl remake, and I was like, but that Underground though, and I kind of wanted to play it, and I was like, am I going to buy a Switch just to play Diamond and Pearl? And the decision ultimately was, I'm not going to buy a Switch just to play Diamond and Pearl. I'm going to buy a Switch and play all of the Pokemon games. So I bought a Switch so I could do Brilliant Diamond, and I also then did play Sword Shield, and I did not like it. And then I also played Scarlet and Violet, which was slightly more fun, but I mean, compared to Sword Shield, it was hard to get worse. I'm going to be honest with you. It was weak. Ugh. You thought you were too old for Pokemon between Gen 2 and 3? No! That's insane. Gen 4, you give it up. Nice. Nice. I never played Legends Arceus. I have an issue with Pokedex. And Legends Arceus is kind of where the Pokedex issues start. And I don't like it. It's part of the lore that doesn't make sense. Part of me thinks that I should try Legends Arceus, especially since I do have a Switch now. You do. Interesting. So, the way they are dealing with, maybe we'll get into it. Let's get into the next. I'm never going to go eat. I'm just going to keep talking about Pokemon. I have so many things with Pokemon. The Pokedex. the Pokédex. Well, I don't know what the Dex and Legends Arceus is like because, as previously noted, I didn't play it. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll pick it up. We'll try. We'll see what it's like. But my issue with the Dex is that in early Pokemon days, one of the first things in like the Pokemon anime and the Pokemon games is that they tell you is that we do not know everything that there is to know about Pokemon. There are still discoveries being made. And I think that is a brilliant, brilliant thing to have put in the games because it establishes, essentially, that the Pokemon Company could do whatever they want. Because we don't know everything. So if they make new discoveries, if they change the way something works, that's fine. They've already established we don't know everything, things are going to change. That's fine. They introduced eggs, abilities, held items, and then they started to go a little bit crazy. And they started to do Megas and G-Maxes and terastallized Pokemon. And none of these things carry over from one game to the other, which is weird because they established that Pokemon world is a contiguous world, despite the fact that they've never released a full world map. Sure, I'm good with that. That part, fine, makes sense. They different of evolutions, mega evolutions, G-Maxes, terastallization, etc. Fine. It makes slightly less sense, but fine, I'm okay with it. The problem is that early in the game, when they were like, we're still figuring things out. Did I already use Cut? Cut didn't do anything. No, Cut's fine. Okay. Early in the game, when they were like, we're still figuring things out, there are some things in the Dex that now looking back on it don't really make sense. For instance, Nidoran. Nidoran, I think, should actually just be the one Pokedex entry. They didn't do that because they were trying to do sexually dimorphic Pokemon before they added biological sex to the Pokemon games, which is fine. I get it. I understand. It was a limitation of the technology they had at the time. But Nidoran should really be one Dex entry that is sexually dimorphic. Then the problem being that Nidoqueen and Nidoking have different names. So then because they have different names, and presumably because they are distinct enough biologically, they have different Dex entries. And sure, we can make an exception for that. But then they stop. They stop doing that almost immediately. And because they stop doing that immediately, and they introduce sexual dimorphism in, I think, the next game, as soon as they introduce gender and sex to the Pokemon games with breeding mechanics, male and female Pokemon, you know? Then we're like, okay, sure. So we understand that we have Nidorans from Gen 1 as like a limit to the technology they had. But then now we have sexually dimorphic Pokemon. We have, you know, Pokemon that we can look at and know of whether or not they're male and female, but they still have the same Dex entry, which is, I think, where Nidoking and Nidoqueen would have fallen if they could have done that for the first Pokemon game. But they didn't. I understand. Fine. However, in the Pokemon games, they then introduce regional Pokemon. I forgot Weeping Bell is dying. They then introduce regional Pokemon and forms of regional Pokemon. And they do this with Shellos as the earliest example I can think of right now because I don't have my Pokedex in front of my hands. But they have Shellos. And if you catch Shellos on one side of the map versus the other side of the map, it looks completely different. And it's the same Dex entry. It's still a Shellos. It has the same name. It looks similar enough that we're like, yeah, that's the same Pokemon. It gets the same Dex number. And everyone's fine with it. And then they do more regional Pokemon. A lot more regional Pokemon. And they start introducing them as regional Pokemon. We get Alolan versions. We get Galarian versions. We get Hisuian versions. And all of these Pokemon forms, regional forms of Pokemon, have the same Dex entry. If Meowth has so many different forms, Meowth is Alolan and Galarian and everything, apparently. Right? Alolan Executor it's a completely different looking Pokemon, but it's the same Dex entry. Their Dex number never changes, at least for the national Dex. Regional Dexes, we understand. Regional Dexes make sense. You have a regional Dex, you have a national Dex. Fine. They established that. Makes sense. And then Gen 9 happened. And I was furious. just absolutely furious. Gen 9 has taken the establishment of the Pokedex and essentially said, none of it matters anymore. We don't care about it anymore. It doesn't make any sense. They took a Pokedex that made so much sense and like took the time to establish with mega evolutions just being like sub entries of dexes and Gigantamax evolutions being sub entries of dexes, and they decided that Pokemon that look exactly the same, essentially exactly the same, more the same, I will say, than Shellos do or Frillish do, like, or Jellicent do. More the same than that. They took those Pokemon that look the same and they said, no, new dex entry. And as far as I am concerned, just destroyed the Pokedex. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And I understand like a little bit why they attempted to do this, but like I think the way it stands, obviously, I'm gonna get their names wrong. Great Tusk and Iron Treads should be the same dex entry as Donphin. Obviously, if you've ever played the game, you know that's a Donphin. You look at it and you're like, that's a Donphin. Screamtail is just a Jigglypuff, right? Iron Thorns, is Tyranitar? Iron Jugulus is just a Hydreigon. Like, they're just Sandy Shocked is the Magneton. It's a Magneton. And you try to make this establishment that they're from the future or from the past, they're paradox Pokemon, whatever. They're just not in their right time frame. Sure. Except for you already did Hisuian Pokemon. And you said that they don't get a new dex entry. And that doesn't make sense anymore. You've already done regional Pokemon, so you can't say that these are Paldean exclusive Pokemon. Because they didn't get a new dex entry. So, what on earth? Like, it doesn't make sense. Especially, like, I studied biology for some time. I know biology very well. I know taxonomy. Like, I understand this principle and this concept, and it makes sense to me. But the dex does not make sense. And I am furious about it. And at this point, like, for the early error of, I'm going to be honest, it's just the Nidoran line. Lines plural, I suppose. Just the literal line. I understand. It makes sense to not change it because it was so early and because you've been numbering these Pokemon, but you spent 8 generations of Pokemon games. You've spent 25 years of Pokemon games establishing rules for our Pokedex and making them make sense with their regional exclusives and variant forms and dex numbers how they are. And we have accepted that and we have learned these rules, and then you changed it? How dare you, Pokemon Company? How dare you take something I held so sacred, especially as a person who has completed a national dex on every single Pokemon game I have ever played. And you ruined my dex. And now it doesn't make sense. And now I have all these forms that don't make sense. And I don't like it anymore. It's not fun to to know that like you're gonna put in work for something. Like even if you made like, I don't know, a subcategory of the national dex that is like regional forms or whatever, fine. Add your subcategories. Do it like the Pogo dex that has the shiny dex, you know? Fine. I'll take that too. But instead of the shiny dex, make it called something else. You know, form dex. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But to ruin my national dex, how dare you? I am so infuriated by it. It infuriates me so much. I'm so mad. I'm in a rage. I cannot explain to you how much I dislike what the Gen 9 decks did. And then the worst thing about Gen 9, I don't know if they've updated it now. I never played the DLC. I don't play DLCs. I think DLCs are a waste usually. Maybe one day I'll get past this and I'll go get DLCs for games that I played. Never played the Galarian DLC because I thought that was dumb. And I still Nat Dexed Galar. You best believe I still Nat Dexed Galar. But I just, in Paldea, if you play Scarlet Violet, or at least at the time I played Scarlet Violet and never got a DLC, you have available in the game, without the DLC, the chance to catch some other Pokemon. Some non-native Paldean Pokemon that appear as Terra Raids. You can catch them. You can catch, I believe the first time I realized this was an error was with the Cinderace. And I was like, ooh, they're introducing other regional Pokemon, which means a national dex is now available. Right? Wrong! If you catch your Cinderace in-game without doing anything weird or untowards in your Pokemon game, you can have a Cinderace and you can even breed it. And you can get a Scorbunny and a Braboot, you know, like you do. But, you do not get a national dex. And in fact, you cannot find a dex entry for your Cinderace anywhere. And what is that about? Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, I agree 100%. The Pokemon Company and Game Freak have made a lot of questionable decisions in these later generations. And I have been a person who has complained about the design of Pokemon before. Like, I get it. You know, I'm not gonna like every Pokemon that comes out. They're just not for me. That's cool. I'm good with that. There can be Pokemon I don't like. I still respect them. I still respect their dex entry and their place in my national dex, as you do when you are a person who does dexing the way I do. But I wish Pokemon Company, Game Freak had a person like me a little bit. Me? Hire me, please? Pokemon Company? I will come work for you in a heartbeat. I will move to Japan to work for you right now at the drop of a hat. Let me fix your decks. Let me explain to you how much Pokemon is a game made for autistic people and how you have ruined the sanctity that I hold dear and how it doesn't make sense anymore. Let me input just a tiny, tiny bit of biology into your Pokemon games. Not for the sake of changing most things, I'm going to be honest. I like the way your Pokemon biology works. I love egg groups. They make complete sense to me. But your decks, please let me fix the decks. If I could fix the Pokemon decks, there is nothing else I would want in the world. Fix the Pokedex, please. I want a Pokedex that makes sense. Anyhow, that's my Pokedex rant, and I would love to send a strongly worded letter to Nintendo. My other Pokemon rant is not even a rant, it's just I don't like Sylveon. Which I guess we can get into later. I did it a long time ago on a very old stream that's probably not even up anymore. I don't save my streams. Should I save my VODs? Should I post the VODs of all of my streams somewhere? I guess I still have all my Pokemon ones available. since I've been playing. Should just like have those on YouTube. Should just have a record of my VODs. But like, I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, yeah. That's my gripe with Pokemon. And now I feel like I have like I have a combination of like just like so much like energy pent up in my system right now. Um, Mixed in with a little bit of like sadness. And ultimately it has just led to like I'm exhausted. I've been playing these games since they've come out. I've watched so much of the anime and seen so many movies, and I've given so much of my life to these games, and I feel like I've been betrayed. And I also still don't have a Psyduck. And I don't think I ran into a Psyduck. I think I would have noticed if I ran into a Psyduck, but I'm going to be honest. I wasn't. I was so focused on talking about the decks that I don't think I noticed if when a Psyduck happens. No, a Psyduck did not happen. So I've reached a point of exhaustion now in ranting about Pokedexes that I think it's time for me to go. I'm gonna go get some food, get some water for my throat because I was getting a little bit loud. Sorry, and I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna get water. You guys go get water too. Stay hydrated. Have a good day. Bring back the National Dex, Game Freak, please. Just for the sake of me and Delete Punk. Just us. Just us. We will fill out your National Dex. I'm sorry, I'm making agreements on your behalf, but like, yes, I want it. I know that it's hard to animate all of your Pokemon. And here's the thing, is like, you didn't have to update the graphics. We loved the game as it is. And the younger generation will still like these games. And they do. I know young people who play these games. But I need to go restore myself, chat. So I'm going to head out. I'm going to get breakfast. I'm going to drink water. You get some food, get a snack, have some water, stay hydrated. Have a good day. And tomorrow, we will catch a Psyduck. Goodbye. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy everything. Always. Enjoy life and the fact that you get to live in a time with Pokemon. Goodbye.